Story time. Leo's Big Adventure. Leo was a boy who loved stars. He was 10 years old, with bright, curious eyes and a head full of dreams. Every night, without fail, he looked at the sky from his bedroom window. His small room was not just a room, it was a personal observatory, adorned with countless star posters that glowed in the dark. On his desk stood a small, but treasured, telescope, his constant companion in his nightly celestial explorations. He always dreamed of going to space, touching the stars, and exploring new worlds. Leo lived in a quiet, small town where the nights were dark enough to see the Milky Way stretch across the sky like a shimmering river. His house had a big, wild garden, a place of adventure in itself. In the deepest corner of the garden, almost hidden by overgrown bushes, there was an old shed. His grandpa, Mr. Miller, a kind man with a love for gardening, used it for storing rusty tools and forgotten pots. But for Leo, this humble shed was anything but ordinary. It was his secret space station. He spent countless hours there, often until the sun set, pretending to fly to distant planets, charting courses, and making imaginary first contacts. He even drew complicated maps of his make-believe galaxies on old cardboard boxes. One sunny Saturday afternoon, something truly amazing happened. Leo was deep in his space station, fully immersed in his role. He was wearing his astronaut helmet, which was, in reality, his slightly scuffed bike helmet, and his fingers danced across the keys of an old, broken keyboard, making whirring and beeping sounds with his mouth. Suddenly, a strange, soft blue light started to flash in the corner of the shed. It wasn't like any light he had ever seen. It was gentle, pulsating, and almost inviting. Leo froze, his imaginary flight controls abandoned. He looked at the light, mesmerized. It was coming from a big, smooth, metal box in the dim corner, a box he had never, ever noticed before. It looked brand new, somehow out of place among the dusty tools. He slowly, cautiously, walked closer to the mysterious box. It was surprisingly smooth and cold to the touch, almost futuristic. There was a glowing screen on one side, showing an array of blinking numbers and strange, intricate symbols that looked like an alien language. Leo, driven by an insatiable curiosity, reached out and gently touched the screen. The box immediately responded, emitting a soft, low humming sound that resonated through the shed. Then, to Leo's absolute astonishment, a voice came from the box. It was a very soft, incredibly friendly voice, like a gentle whisper of the wind. "Hello," the voice said, clear and calm. "My name is Nova. I am a space transporter." Leo's eyes widened to the size of saucers. "A space transporter," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "You mean, you can actually go to space to real stars?" "Yes," Nova replied, its voice unwavering. "I can take you to space, to a planet far, far away, beyond your wildest dreams." Leo's heart began to beat a frantic rhythm against his ribs. This was it. This was his ultimate dream, suddenly standing right in front of him. But a tiny wave of fear also washed over him. "But I'm just a boy," he stammered, feeling small and insignificant. "That's okay," Nova gently replied. "Age is but a number. You are brave, Leo. I can feel a great spirit of adventure within you." Leo paused, his mind racing. He looked at his beloved star posters, then at his small telescope. This was more than a chance, it was destiny calling. He took a deep breath, and a determined look settled on his face. "Okay," he said, his voice firming with newfound courage. "Let's go. Take me to space." As soon as he spoke, Nova's blue light became intensely brighter, filling the entire shed with an ethereal glow. The shed itself began to shake gently, then more noticeably. Leo felt a strange, tingling sensation, like he was floating, weightless. A moment later, everything went completely dark for a single, breathless second. When the light returned, the familiar, dusty shed was gone. Leo blinked, trying to comprehend what he was seeing. There were no walls, no ceiling, no floor. Only an endless, magnificent expanse of stars. Billions upon billions of them, bright, sparkling, and breathtakingly close. He was floating in space. Below him, he could see his home, Earth, a huge, beautiful marble of swirling blues and greens, peaceful and serene. Wow! Leo exclaimed, his voice filled with pure wonder. He looked down and realized he was standing on a small, perfectly round, floating platform. Nova, now glowing with his soft, steady light, was right beside him, its metallic surface reflecting the starlight. "We are currently in orbit around Earth," Nova calmly explained. "Soon, we will begin our journey to Planet Zephyr." "Planet Zephyr?" Leo asked, his eyes still fixated on the magnificent view of Earth. "What's it like?" "Is it like Earth?" "It is a planet of vibrant green forests and enchanting singing crystals," Nova described, its voice almost poetic. "The people there are known as the Zephyrians. They are very kind, peaceful, and wise beings." The platform then began to move, accelerating with a gentle hum. It moved incredibly fast, gracefully arcing away from Earth. Leo watched his home planet shrink into a distant, beautiful blue gem. The initial fear had completely vanished, replaced by an overwhelming sense of excitement and awe. They traveled for what felt like an eternity, yet also a mere moment. Leo spent the entire journey gazing out into the cosmic tapestry. He saw streaks of light comets with long, bright tails dancing through the darkness. He witnessed enormous, swirling, colorful nebulae, vast clouds of gas and dust where new stars were born, painting the universe with cosmic art. It was beyond anything he had ever imagined, a dream brought to life. Finally, Nova's voice broke the silence. "We are here, Leo. Welcome to Zephyr." The platform gracefully slowed and then stopped. Below them, Leo saw a world of astonishing beauty. It was predominantly green, a lush carpet of diverse flora. There were countless tall, slender trees, their leaves shimmering with a metallic sheen. And everywhere, embedded within the landscape, were glittering, colorful structures that looked exactly like giant, multifaceted crystals, catching the starlight and refracting it into dazzling rainbows. Nova landed the platform softly in a serene clearing, the ground feeling strangely soft, like walking on a thick bed of moss. The air was wonderfully fresh and sweet, filled with the scent of unknown flowers and distant, gentle melodies. Then, he saw them. Small creatures, about his own height, emerged from among the trees. They had smooth, green skin that blended perfectly with the foliage, and large, gentle, luminous eyes that radiated warmth. They were the Zephyrians. They wore long, flowing garments woven from delicate, living leaves and flowers, giving them an ethereal appearance. One Zephyrian, slightly taller than the others, stepped forward. It had a welcoming, radiant smile. It extended a slender hand, its fingers long and graceful. "Welcome, young traveler from afar," it said. Its voice was incredibly beautiful, like the soft, tinkling sound of wind chimes. Leo, though still a little shy, instinctively reached out and took its hand. "Hello," he said, managing a small smile. "My name is Leo." The Zephyrian introduced itself as Ilera, a guardian of the crystal forests. Ilera, with a gentle grace, began to show Leo around Zephyr. Leo learned that the singing crystals were not just beautiful, they were alive, making their exquisite music whenever the soft winds of Zephyr passed through their intricate formations. He played with small, friendly animals that resembled fluffy clouds, bouncing gently on the mossy ground. He tasted delicious, vibrant fruit that truly tasted like captured sunshine, bursting with unknown flavors. He discovered that the Zephyrians lived in perfect harmony with nature, protecting every leaf and every creature on their planet with profound reverence. They were incredibly kind, sharing their wisdom and their home with open hearts. Leo felt an overwhelming sense of belonging and happiness in this alien, yet welcoming, world. He stayed on Zephyr for 2 glorious days. Each moment felt like an eternity, filled with new discoveries and wonders. He learned so much about their ways, their history, and their deep connection to the universe. He made new friends, even picking up a few words in the beautiful, melodic Zephyrian language. He learned that Zillos meant star and Flora meant friend. These words, simple yet profound, resonated deeply within him. On the morning of the 3rd day, Nova gently informed Leo that it was time to return home. A wave of sadness washed over Leo at the thought of leaving Zephyr, his new friends, and the magical singing crystals. But he also felt a growing longing for his own family, his familiar room, and his cherished telescope. He bid a heartfelt goodbye to Ilera and the other Zephyrians, embracing them with a warmth he hadn't known he could feel. "Thank you for everything," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I will never, ever forget you or your wonderful planet." "We will not forget you either, Leo," Ilera replied, her luminous eyes filled with kindness. "Your brave spirit has touched our hearts. You are always welcome here, a friend among the stars." Leo stepped back onto Nova's platform, a mix of joy and wistfulness in his heart. Nova hummed softly, its blue light pulsating gently. Soon, they were soaring through the cosmic ocean once more. Leo looked back at Zephyr, watching it transform from a vibrant green world into a beautiful, distant green dot against the infinite blackness of space. The journey home felt much faster, like a dream fading into memory. In what seemed like a single, breathless blink, Leo was back in his old shed. The blue light of Nova slowly faded, and the transporter returned to its form as a silent, unassuming metal box. The shed smelled of old wood, damp earth, and the faint, familiar scent of rust. Leo looked around, half expecting the shed to still be filled with starlight. Was it all a dream? Had he imagined it? He cautiously touched the metal box. It was solid, cold, and real. Then, his fingers brushed against something smooth and cool in his pocket. He pulled it out, a small, intricately carved singing crystal, a gift from Ilera. It was real. It wasn't a dream. He burst out of the shed, racing towards the house, his heart pounding with excitement and the sheer weight of his incredible secret. His mom was in the kitchen, humming a tune as she prepared lunch. "Leo, where were you? Lunch is ready, young man." Leo rushed to his mom, hugging her tightly, a wide grin on his face. He wanted to tell her everything, every single amazing detail of his cosmic journey. But he knew, deep down, that she might not believe him. This was his secret. His incredible, life-changing, big adventure. That night, Leo lay in his bed, looking at the stars from his window. They seemed closer, brighter, and infinitely more meaningful now. He knew they were not just distant dots of light in the sky. They were worlds, teeming with life, wonder, and endless possibilities. He knew, with a certainty that settled deep in his soul, that he would go back to space someday. And he knew that his incredible friend, Nova, was waiting for him, silently, in the old shed. He whispered softly to the night, "Zillows, Flora, Star, friend." And a tiny, contented smile touched his lips as he finally drifted off to sleep, his dreams already filled with the infinite expanse of the universe. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with more new stories.